Whoop, 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 whoop. Bitch, did you play that last night?
No. I'm fucking this joint
I
up.
don't think so.
He's
Anyway, hey y'all. Welcome back.
Amen.
Look, come on, amen.
My allergies is getting to me. Sorry, I'm trying to breathe. You know how your nose feel like it's starting to get stuffed up? That's what I'm going through right now.
It's like it got like that fake dry stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's the left side. Got
you. I go through that daily. I feel you. You got it together, Roscoe?
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Feel you. Well, welcome back, y'all. We're here again for another episode of CHRISSIE. I am the controversial one, CHRISSIE.
And I am the authentic one, Anna.
And together we are
To each his own.
Well, like you just said earlier, you said it's going to be 91. It's going to get hot.
Mm-hmm.
Get team hot.
Mm-hmm.
It is, forget sundress weather, it is ass out weather. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just letting you know, if you see me, if you see a nipple, happy birthday.
Really? That's how you feel? Okay. We here.
Listen, you lucky we sitting here up under this air right now.
Oh,
but
okay.
if you see me outside, baby,
All right.
that shit gonna be like,
fuck out of here, Moulin Rouge. Itchy.
This way. Okay.
Look around the wrong pipe.
Oh, I love it. That's what you get. Because you was about to say something smart. God had to get you.
Hit me on the left side. Ooh.
God had to get you.
Ooh.
See, there you go, playing around.
That Kentucky.
Come on, Kentucky.
That Kentucky is kicking.
I want to go down there. I want to go down to Nashville and all down to the South East.
Yeah.
I want to go whiskey tasting down there and put a nice trip.
Yes.
Things. I need y'all to come on.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We want a whole Cowboy Carter tour, our own.
Who?
Our own Cowboy Carter tour.
Oh, God. Okay.
It's going to be the Cowboy CHRISSIE tour.
Would you take a train ride? I remember, I have like this bucket
like
list
an old school train?
In my phone. Yeah, like it's like a locomotive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it goes to like the Midwest. I think it's like a black owned, what's it called? And I think it stops past like black owned bed and breakfasts and stuff like this. I gotta look at it because it seemed really decent. I said I would love to do something like that. I love me a little bed and breakfast. Don't get me started, bitch. Give me my Belgian waffle, my coffee in the morning.
I'll do that.
Yeah, we look into that.
I told you I got a few museums that I want to visit.
That too.
That's in different places too.
Yes.
Like I want to plan like trips just to do like not
culture shit. Yeah. Got you.
And just not go and shake. I'm gonna shake my ass regardless, but I want to do the culture shit one day, and I'm gonna shake my ass at night.
Okay. You gonna be tired one of them nights.
I don't give a fuck. Cause I'm gonna take a day of rest like Jesus did, like God did. So this week, we're just gonna get into for the what's going on segment. We're going to do one/multiple. Well, an identifying problem. That like everybody, a lot of people are generally kind of experiencing or going through at this time. So it's a lot of what's going on for many different people right now in this aspect. Of course, especially in these political times and changes and things like that. So there was a tweet that came from the War Paint Journal. They gave some insight and stated, and I quote, "The problem is most of us were raised by parents who were just surviving. So they taught us survival, not life. Not one of us was sat down to explain how that works, how to self-soothe, how to say no without guilt, or how to walk away from love that hurts. We weren't shown what emotional safety looks like, just to keep the peace, suppress the feelings, and hustle harder. Now, we're adults paying bills on autopilot, spiraling in relationships, mistaking burnout for success, and calling anxiety our own personality. Lost, overwhelmed, and wondering why we feel broken, when in reality, we were just never taught the basics of being whole.
But how can people who aren't whole themselves teach us how to be whole? Because nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You know? I guess they just do the best of what they could do, you know? That's why. But I feel like that's why.
Too negative equal positive. I guess that's where it comes from.
But then I think about it from the perspective.
I don't know.
That when you have two different energies or two different individuals coming together, you guys are supposed to complement one another. So whatever my strong suits are might not necessarily be the other person's. It's going to be something that's going to be interchangeably beneficial for whoever we bring into this world. So that's why it's important. Like, I don't know if finding someone that's exactly like you is the wise thing to do. I think that's I think that's why some of the best advice you could ever get is to deal with someone who does have the same values as you, but your same exact personality and your same exact mindset when it comes to everything. It's like, I don't disagree on anything. There has to be some type of
I don't need somebody
middle ground.
That's gonna be dangerous for a person like me.
What you mean?
If I could never be with somebody who was exactly like
oh yeah, girl. Good night. Minefield.
Literally.
Boom! Like no. Chrissy, what you doing? Oh, nothing. Just blew his ass up at 9. Like, damn, bitch. Did you have some bacon prior to? The fuck?
Damn, son.
Who pissed in your Wawa coffee? The fuck? Who pissed in your Keurig? Damn, bitch.
I just gotta pee.
I'm just saying. Shit, that's kind of intense for first thing in the morning. I'm sorry.
All right. Moving on. The fuck?
What I do? Because I said just gonna blow him up. Boom!
She just wrapped me for cup. That's kind of intense for first thing in the morning. Bitch, please, thank you.
Bitch, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I can see, you get insane. You heard saying moments. I be having to laugh, but I be like, yo, this bitch is dead serious. It's not funny, but I be laughing because I'm like, this bitch is dead serious right now. And it'd be like your head be spinning around on top of your neck. It'd be so funny. But anyway. What? What did I do?
I'm glad you find me entertaining.
You is funny as hell. You is. Oh, sorry.
Is that why we friends? What about your friends? This what they do.
I was just having a funny, just inside moment. I'm sorry. Don't judge me. Anyway.
Then we just talk about I'm going through struggle over here. You left side. I'm playing, yo. Please don't think I'm having a breakdown over here. She's laughing. But no, I do think that there's a lot of people that experience this. This is a very real problem for a lot of people, but you touched on something immediately that was very right. Yeah, how can somebody who's not healed or whole teach someone how to be whole?
Be that.
But we're all learning together, and I think the unwhole person, i.e. maybe the parent in the situation or the authority figure, I think the self-awareness or the accountability in that situation is to know that you're not completely whole. Yeah. And for us on the opposite end to know that they're doing the best that they can. So therefore, before we get to this point where we feel like we're unraveling because of what we weren't taught or a lack of what we did or did not get, before we get here, we can go explore some tools or learn some things, take some things for ourselves.
Life experiences.
So that we can become whole, so that we're not blaming it on our past or what we didn't get.
Yeah, I think taking that ownership and accountability is important. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you feel like people who do have like these adverse experiences with like whoever was responsible for raising them, do you think more often than not that they turn out great and they turn out okay, and it's like surprising that they do the exact opposite of what was done to them? Or do you feel like more often than not they just wind up being shit, like a shitty ass person? What do you feel like happens a majority of the time?
You know what? I ain't gonna even lie to you. I really think it's 50-50.
For real?
Yeah, I really do think it's 50-50 because I think about children that grew up in the same household, same parents, same lifestyle, and come out completely different.
Yeah.
And a lot of those dynamics I that I'm thinking about with people or siblings that I know grew up the same way. Half of them ain't shit, half of them are. Mm-hmm. Half of them decided to, take what they experience and use it as an excuse for why, I can't do this or
I
this
can't
is
do
why
that. Or I don't want
like
to.
you said, took those adverse experiences and went, listen, I'm
use
going
it
to
as fuel.
Right. So, yeah, I really do think it's a 50-50 thing in my perspective.
Good way of looking at it. I think it is a safe answer because it's like hard for me to say. And I don't want to sound pessimistic, but if I had to guess, it would be more so like fucked up.
I mean, I get it.
If I had to get, if I had to.
Have, the young psychopaths. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And some of that is a chemical imbalance. It's not all, but a lot of that is, as we know, is the learned behaviors. Yeah. And from a lack of, or, your adverse experiences around
your childhood. So, yeah. Definitely. I could see that. Yeah, for sure. Because I'm just like, I think about the conversations that I had with people, and it's just always like, I didn't get this growing up. And then especially hearing parents talk to their children where they're like just trying to get them to understand a particular concept or instill something in them. And they're having a conversation with them. And it's like, my mom or my dad or my grandma never told me about X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm trying to give you X. I'm trying to give you this so that way you don't have to go through this, and this. And it's like, while you're sitting there saying that, you understand that they probably not internalizing it in a way that you're intending them to, but you just feel like you have to let them know that. You have to give them that tidbit. Put it out there. So it's a point of reference. So when they finally have the aha moment, it's like, okay, this is what they meant. This is what they were trying to tell me.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things, and like you said, there's a lot of things that I didn't get, like you said, as my mom was giving it to me. And as I got older, I thought about some of those things she said, and I'm like, now I understand the point she was trying to make. This is what she was trying to get me to understand. So yeah.
Girl, child. Absolutely. Especially the never say never moments, girl. I'll be like, hold on.
Randy told y'all never say never.
Hold the hell on.
All right, so that was just that's what's going on with everybody. So we are going to quickly give y'all our boss of the week so we can jump into the topics.
Absolutely. So here is the boss of the week. This is Hawk's daughter's clothing line. So remember we had our homie Hawk on back a couple months ago. I want to say February he came on the show.
Shout out to the Punchline if you went to the Memorial Day weekend Punchline event. He was definitely on it. He said he was stepping out of retirement a little bit for you hoes to come check him out. You feel me? I didn't call you hoes, I did, but I'm just saying, shout out to that. But yes, this is his daughter's. She has a clothing line, and she's our boss of the week this week.
Yeah, what's her name? I said, what's her name? What is the name? It's called Amour Society. AMOUR Society. And it's the website is amoursociety.com. She sells a range of different items like beanies, jerseys, sweatsuits. So check it out and get your custom made Amour Society.
Yes, we from Philly. You know we love a good streetwear line.
Period. Yes, we do.
Yeah, so go check them out. So shout out to you, young boss, doing your thing.
Yes.
These Gen Zers,
and shout out to she's graduating this year too, so shout out to that.
Shout out to class of 2025. No matter what level of school you are in, shout out to you. You did it. Do your thing.
Do your thing.
Hats off to you, baby. Okay. I remember that moment. I loved seeing that whole thread of black guys. What was it? I think was it Morehouse?
I believe so.
Was it Morehouse that didn't have, like I said, now I don't know what they were missing, but they had to announce themselves because there was so many of them. I wish I'd have been able to do that.
I would have made a whole production out of my shit.
I would have too. And I think it was the school in North Carolina also.
Okay.
They did the line dance. They brought the fans out.
Okay, where
at the graduation. I ain't gonna lie, I felt that because Cat Daddy was real big around the time we graduated, and I remember that's the dance that I did on my graduation day when they called my name. I Cat Daddy across the stage.
I'm crying. I'm trying to think. Or the song that was popular when I got was "Nigga We Made It" with Drake. That was like quadruple platinum.
Yes.
And also what was the other one? Rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan, Walk Through. That was my shit.
Man, when I walk through.
Yes.
Yeah.
My ghetto ass was playing that shit on my phone when I was walking in the joint. Watch me walk the fuck through. Hey. And get my little shit.
Yes, Rich Homie. Shout out to the class of 2025.
Yeah, shout out to y'all.
Do your thing, period. Do your thug.
Do your thug. Ooh, oh, this is interesting. Okay, so let's jump into the first topic.
Ready to get the topic?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
So, the name of this topic is called Sibling Stuff, and I'm going to tell you who's speaking once the clip is over, but just take a listen to what he has to say.
No siblings have the same parents. No siblings have the same family. No siblings have the same childhood. Why not? There are a whole lot of reasons. Number one is the birth order. Parents don't relate to the first child the way they relate to the second child. Then there's gender differences. Parents don't relate to, I'm not talking about whether parents love the kids or not. I'm talking about what actually happens. The child doesn't experience the parents' love. The child experiences the way the parent shows up. So, number one. Number two, the parents' relationship might be in a different phase, one child and another. Then, the parents might be in a different economic situation. The parents' lives might be different. Then, each child will evoke a different response from the parent. Like with my 3 kids or your 3 kids, it's not that I loved or we loved any one of them more than the other, but we responded to them differently. And there's one more factor, which is children born with different temperaments, which is they experience the world differently. So even if I could be the same parent to all of my kids, which I couldn't be, they still have 3 different parents because they would experience me differently.
Mm-hmm. So that was from the Mel Robbins podcast, a clip from there. So shout out to that pod. But this is an interesting conversation for real. Because I guess you could say that it is very true. Because what I often hear about people who were like young parents, like someone like maybe like a teen mom, they always say that like they grew up with their child. Which is understandable because you were very young and still a minor technically when you had your child, or you're just like a brain, like so just walking into adulthood. Absolutely. Versus your child, because it's kind of like your parent parents you both, because your parent is showing you how to parent while still parenting you at the same time. But it's like, do you feel like, I think that almost puts, if I'm observing this correctly, I don't want to sound ignorant, I think that almost puts a situation like that almost puts a parent in a predicament where like, it's like, all right, now I got to start from scratch with you all over again. It's like a reset for them in a way, because it's like, all right, you're not a baby. However, you're raising a baby, but it's like a reset, but it's not like a baby reset. It's like I'm a fast forward you to adulthood now, because now I have to catapult you into making sound decisions, because you now have to think about someone outside of yourself. So showing someone how to do that is probably super hard, especially when their frontal lobe isn't, what's it called? Because it's like, you still immature. I'm mad as shit, because why would you think to do that? But it's just like, at the end of the day, you're a teen. Like, what am I really, like, you have to, that has to be some humbling ass shit. It gotta be, yo.
I mean, I think coming from the perspective of, like you said, everybody has a different temperament. Every child has a different temperament.
True.
So just on the nature of, and we talk about it in our culture all the time, how parents raise female children differently than they raise male children. And even as we talk about that, once you bring in the temperament and personality dynamics, it can go to a whole nother level. Like, for example, my father jokingly says that I should have been the junior. Because my brother is my father's junior. But I was the first child, so, and my brother was the first boy. But he jokingly says that in reference to my personality type. In reference to, I feel like, and with me being a man and my personality and how I operate, I feel like you act more like me than my son, who's named after me, does.
Got you.
Like, although you are a female, and it blows his mind, which is why he's like, I don't understand where this comes from, but it's how you handle me. My parents handle me differently than they to this day as adults. They handle me differently than they handle my brother. I agree with
that. Yes,
we have different, and primarily at this point, because we are adults, it's based on our temperament. Like, my mom will easily tell you. My mom actually had to tell me something difficult recently, right? And she let it before she told me. For one, she asked me to sit down, and then she let it with, I need you to, be calm.
I hate
and she said that she was reluctant to tell me because of my temperament. Meanwhile, everybody else already know. No, I'm saying everybody else. I mean, like my brother already knows. So we're two different people, but it's like I gotta approach it differently with you because of what you're saying, and it's just what happens. I don't think it's about it being fair or not being fair. I just think it's just kind of is what it is. Kind of like what we just said recently. Two kids can be raised in the same household,
and they two different people for sure. Yeah,
and again, and that goes hand in hand with this because they're receiving two different parents because of how they're experiencing life.
Yep,
and where their parents are, their parent is in that moment.
It's probably different, than when it was with you.
And when he said this specifically, he was like, your parents can be in different financial situations.
Yep.
Your parents can be experiencing
their relationship. They could be with just something different.
It made me think about my parents' divorce.
Yep.
My brother was born just after my parents decided to divorce.
Yep, it'll do it.
They had already made the decision to separate. My mom was pregnant. They made the decision right after he was born. They made the decision to divorce. Completely different where they were when I was born.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
completely different where they were for several, several years before he even came into the picture. So I do think that it takes a toll on everybody
for sure
in this situation. But like we often hear, especially in our work environments, communication is key. It really is. You can't keep using the fact that the child is too young or they may not understand because they're this age or they're this way or whatever. Break it down to them on whatever level they can understand.
That's how I feel.
Understanding. You know what I'm saying? A 1-year-old has their own. They understand a certain level of things on their level. You know what I'm saying? So break it down to them as best you can to the level they can understand it.
And I know they probably sitting here thinking like it's easy for us to say that because we don't have kids, but I feel like at the end of the day, the way I look at it is when you hide stuff from them, it's going to eat away at you. They're going to know that something's up with you anyway. So you might as well spill the beans. Kids don't have to know everything that's going on for them to be able to tell that something's off. You know what I'm saying? And I know sometimes it puts parents in between a rock and a hard place because it's like, this may be a situation that I feel like, because you're a parent, you love them, you don't want them to know struggle, you don't want them to know pain or hurt or anything like that. You want to protect them and shield them from the world. However, it's like by not telling them and going through this and creating an environment that isn't good for them, it's like, is it worth the risk or is it worth it to say, this is what I'm going through. Mommy's trying to figure it out, and I want you to witness this in real time about things that I tried and how I kept going. Like, because the most important part is for them to see you keep going and actually consider them along the way. I think that's what's important. Right. I don't expect perfection from my parents. The persistence of just never letting me go.
Absolutely.
To a certain degree, because I'm an adult, so you have to let me go. Right. But just like holding that, like I'm still your parent. I love you dearly.
From a child's perspective, I think to add on to that, just to be honest about change is going to happen. Because it's inevitable. But how change happens, you can guide or maybe at the very least verbalize and how that change that's happening affects your child and what's going on around them. If it's inevitable, okay, this is happening, but how you handle it also makes a difference as well.
Yep. So they got to see that in real time. I think it's important.
I think that honesty and that communication is absolute key. Break it down to them they could be 2 or they could be 22. It's people who are adults who go, I know my parents had issues for years, and they act out because they know their parents have issues. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, just because your parents stayed together don't mean nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yep. 2-parent household, but you got Dennis the fucking Menace running around here, and Chucky is on the way. God damn it! I just
called T Dennis the Menace earlier.
I'm cracking up.
Yep. So
that was a good one though.
Yeah, I agree. So siblings, appreciate. I would say this: appreciate the version of the parents that you got Because that was the version of the parent that was meant for you. You know what I'm saying? We can't say, "Oh, I wish I got this part of mommy. I wish I got this part of daddy." Because you know some siblings have that issue too. Oh, you got the better part of mommy or daddy because you came along when they was in a better situation or when things got better or I grew up in the struggle. Appreciate the part of your parent that you got because you learned from it.
Right.
You know, it's a part of your parents or parts of your parents that are still going to stick with you from that portion that you got of them no matter what. So take it, appreciate it, learn from it. And again, maybe at a certain point in time, maybe you and your siblings maybe can share or exchange, talk about the different versions. Yeah, experiences in the different versions that you got of your parents.
I think it's important. I think those kinds of conversations are therapeutic.
That's why I didn't get that version of them because this was going on at this time or whatever the case may be.
I think that's therapeutic because I'm like, it's a plenty of conversations like randomly or like I'll remember something and my sister be like, what are you talking about? I never knew that. And I'd be like, what? And she'd be like, yeah, I never knew that. I'd be like, oh wow, like where was you the whole time? It was right there or this was happening right in front of you. It's so interesting.
But the year thing about the distance you guys are apart. She was in a whole different mental space than you were, so you saw things differently. Just like y'all got different versions of the parents. They had different experiences of us as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It'll be that. It'll be.
It will. So, speaking of parents, the next topic comes from Miss Tony Tone, who tweeted, certain parents will ask their grown-up daughters, "Where's your husband?" Meanwhile, they scared those same daughters into never interacting with the opposite sex outside of work or school. Dating was strictly forbidden, but somehow they expect their daughters to be married by 25. And I almost went past this until I realized, damn, this was my life.
I'm cracking up. I thought of when I read this, I thought of it from a perspective. Imagine growing up like that. Like, because some people's, like, I consider my mother was strict growing up, but some people really just didn't have any kind of freedom. So it's like, once they became an adult, it's like they got thrown into the wolves, so to speak, because it's like our days and times are completely different than what their parents' days and times were.
Yeah, but I'm quite sure you heard some of the same things I heard. Like you said, both of us consider our mothers strict. When you go from line by line, where's your husband? Yeah, I've been hearing, when you gonna get married, when you gonna have kids, when you was. I've been hearing it, since at least 25, consistently. Since at least I was 25, consistently. And then, meanwhile, those same ones are scared. They scared their daughters into never interacting with the opposite sex outside of school or work. Dating was strictly forbidden. Yes, when I was growing up, it was no, you can't date until you was out of the house. I had to really kind of go back and forth with my mom by 16 to kind of like get off my back and just kind of let me do it. I'm like, Mom, I'll be out of here next year. 18 is not a thing for me because I'm going at 17. So 16, you can let up off me a little bit. You feel me? And she did, but outside of that, it was you don't do what you don't see me do.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's why I said, well, damn, I had to reread this again. It was like, damn, this is my life. So you didn't train me or teach me technically, give me a whole bunch of training on how to date or how to really interact with the opposite sex, like you said, outside of work, school, or church. And everything was even strict surrounding that. So now all of a sudden, now all of a sudden it's, well, when we going to be giving you away? Excuse me? Did you teach me how to give me away?
I don't listen.
Did you teach me how to love?
Listen here.
Show me the way to some. Where is Music Soul Child when you need him?
I get the jokes here and there. My mom like, well, this is the only grandson I'm gonna get. She always talking about my dog. I be cracking up. She's like, I ain't gonna get no kids. This is my only grandson.
But think about it from the perspective I just said. Like, when did you actually really sit down and teach me how to date? You taught me. Now I'm not saying my mom didn't teach me nothing. My mom taught me how to be a young lady. But again, when it comes to teaching me how to date and how to interact with the opposite sex on that level when it comes dating. No, it wasn't. Listen, yeah, boys gonna be there, but you don't pay them no mind on that type of time. They'll just.
I learned from eavesdropping on my mom conversations with her friends.
I did too, but that's what I'm saying, that our parents themselves comfortable with talking to me about
anything.
Because I don't want you to be going to your ignorant ass friends that don't know shit and not experienced about stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I just think about me. I didn't have anybody to look up to that was a little older to go to that I trusted, that wasn't an adult that I didn't feel uncomfortable talking to actually get a little bit of knowledge from. Like, I had to learn, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Kind of learning this for myself. I don't want my child exploring from their dumbass friends and going into the wrong decision.
In the wrong, oh, that's so scary having like the wrong, but they have to have.
Because I think about some of the wrong decisions I made. I'm like, damn, if I would have had like an old head, or older sibling, or some cousin guidance that I was close to, I'm like, I wouldn't have made half of those decisions that I did.
Hanging with the wrong crowd, man. Or not even sometimes not the wrong, but a naive crowd. But yeah, I get that. I'm saying.
I want my child will be a G, and that just makes me think about, sometimes when people say people overexpose their kids. Well, hell, the internet is already doing that, so I'm not gonna lie. I probably would be very unorthodox when it comes to teaching, a child about dating and the opposite sex and the real world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can't just be like that about finances and credit, health, and all of that. We gotta be like that about other shit too.
Interpersonal skills, like dealing with people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
We gotta put them on game about everything.
Points was made. That's
how I feel.
Yeah.
That's how I be with my guy.
Balance your checkbook and your friendships.
Period.
Or your relationships. So yeah, whatever that's you want to. Whatever ship you get on.
Come on, whatever ship you get on.
I have bad news though.
What?
The reality check link is not working.
Oh, let me see if it works on mine. Give me a minute.
No, it's to the platform that you don't have. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, because I just noticed something recently that I don't have it as an app, but sometimes I can see it on the
internet
browser version. Yeah. So let me see. When the things that is this the right one?
Playing with our feelings, right?
Yeah. Because it was there, and I had saw it, and
damn.
Yeah, it's not there. All right, so we're going to wing it. So,
or let y'all go until next week too.
Yeah, we just wing it. I mean, we can give them give people a little word for the week. Come on, power, auntie. Preach, auntie. I mean,
I'm hungry.
To each his own. Keep hope alive.
Yeah, all of the above. Yeah.
Power to the people. So yeah, we apologize for our reality check link not working this week. We will get better on having maybe a backup, or because we didn't know the link wasn't going to work. They probably could have just deleted it. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
We'll make sure we
weird.
Screenshot it the next time. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
Okay. Yeah. All I know is we still love you. And we appreciate y'all for being here. And if you made it to this far, like Anna always says, bring a drink and a friend next week.
Yes.
Okay?
And come kick it on the couch, folks.
Come kick it on the couch. And we got some people that we want to come sit on the couch too.
So absolutely.
We got to talk about that. So
yes.
At this point, we will see you guys next week. No, make them back yet.
It's all right.
I know. You know what button to push?
I don't know. We're going to figure it out today. Bye, y'all.